Fatum Betula was created by God, who appears as a giant floating blue head with infinite eyes who exists above the moon. God birthed the world of Fatum Betula, where they created the ponds and gave them fish, created the trees and gave them fruit, and created life, but neglected to give life the gift of free will. God created all, including the air, and the air itself has a face which appears at the beginning of the game to the player from the darkness. The air reveals to the player the room there within contains a tree which is itself the world. A literal and figurative interpretation, as what happens to the tree happens to the world, and the tree's blood has grown stagnant from having only ancient water to feed it. This stagnation has left the world in limbo, and the people within are without ending or satisfaction. It's up to you, the player, to feed the tree something new and birth a new world. A warning from the air, though, is to not feed it the blood you bleed, as nothing good can come from a world derived of that. You set about the world and encounter a few characters and areas, the first of which is likely a cat named the Beast, who complains of hunger. You then set about to an autumn area that has a dilapidated house and a well. Inside of the dilapidated house is a skeleton who reveals they're immortal and pleads with the player to kill them. Across the trees you fall down a well where you meet a wizard smoking a pipe, whose life's work is this well filled with books and knowledge on magical phenomena. The wizard has been cursed to never be able to enter wooden doors which allow travel and are the only exit from the well. The wizard asks the player to find the skull of an immortal, which would allow him to create immortality and share with the world the gift of undeath. The next area to be explored is a great pond teeming with fish and a building sitting in the center of the pond. A fisherman is revealed to have died here years ago from having consumed a poisonous koi fish, a fish whose poison was so powerful it could kill even an immortal. If you sleep in the house on the pond, you awake in a dreamlike area with a new guest outside the house. While unnamed, I call him the Hanging Man because he hangs from the roof with his hand. He waxes nostalgic about a painting he'd seen a long time ago which affected him greatly. Getting this painting for him, he confesses that he's glad to see it once again, but it was better in his mind rather than seeing it here and now. Nonetheless, he gives the player his only other possession, bone marrow. In the corner, once again, near the grave, is a noose which, when cut, summons the now dead fisherman, who tries to reason with the player to kill their world, as immortality is painfully boring, being a ghost himself, and having seen several lifetimes as one, he wishes now for an eternal death. He gives the player a poisonous fruit with which to end the world. You can now bring the beast back a fish, to which he'll gift you oil, a delicacy from his homeland, which the beast says is now a land of fire. You may now also feed the poisonous koi to the immortal skeleton, who loses her head, which you can give to the wizard to concoct his immortality. You may travel to a platform over the beast's head to an island with a gazebo, surrounded by the ocean with a submarine at the dock, and a submariner on the shore, who talks about how much he loves the ocean. You then borrow his submarine to visit the bottom of the ocean, where a sunken church contains a key, and potentially Ezekiel, an angel, who prophesies your afterlife in hell. You're blocked by a seaweed wall, and a nearby sunken man says that if the seaweed died, you might be able to traverse this world further. Back on shore, you turn the ocean into either poison or oil, and make your way through the now dead seaweed wall. You're dropped into Suburbia, where you can enter any house. Inside of the house you enter is your mom, who warns you not to spend too much time in front of the TV. Looking at the TV, a program is playing that is obvious propaganda and a critique on media and its consummation and message to the masses, with lines such as, "Any changes you want to make are unreasonable. If we are above you, pull yourself up," and "Buy what we want you to buy." If you make your way upstairs and through a door, you're spit out again into another living room, with you, the player, sitting in front of the same TV. This time with only a single line airing. You look just like your father. You can kill yourself and collect your blood here. Exiting the home, you continue walking the suburbs until you come across an oddly shaped building in the middle of the street. A man inside types away at a computer, and when you open the door to his room, he evaporates violently. The man turns out to have built the building you're inside of, and when he traveled to a nearby house, he was bitten by the woman inside, which gave him a virus that reacted violently when exposed to air. More importantly, though, this man's isolation revealed to him through studying the things around his room. The world was made of edges, not atoms, and there isn't DNA in this world, but scripts. Everything in this world is polygons. he has realized he's in a game, but now he's dead, and you can collect tomato soup from the cans littering his room. Traveling back to the autumn area, you can collect the liquids left in the game. Combining the beast's blood from killing him with a knife and the bone marrow, you can create a plant growth formula with which you can climb around a nearby waterfall and enter into a church with the key from the underwater church from earlier. Inside is a few barrels of wine you can collect from. Stepping back outside, if you're lucky, a moon will be behind the church, which teleports you to the moon. Making your way past a moon within the moon and up some stairs, you meet God, who is happy that you're here and helping their people, but you need to give them the one thing God didn't: free will. Collecting the free will and going back to the world tree, you're now able to make your decision based on which liquid you feed the tree, each with their own unique ending. I'll be going through each ending and the liquid used for it, and what each ending mean. Keep in mind, though, that sometimes the endings are literal and sometimes they're figurative. The first ending, ending 0, comes from you poisoning the beast and using that poison on the ancient water. The poison kills the world of Fatum Betula and leaves it black. The only thing left alive is you, the player. Ending 1 is next and comes from using the beast's oil on the ancient water. With oil running through the tree, its roots grew to the depths of hell, and its branches to heaven. The tree and the world's people are parasites, and suck the world of its resources, and call themselves kings and rulers. The parasites outgrow their host. Ending number 2 follows, and after using the beast's blood acquired from killing him with the knife, the world is in chaos. The world fills with conflicts that can only be resolved with blood. People no longer talk, and community disappears from the world, as people are at each other's throats like beasts. Ending number 3 comes from killing your childhood self and feeding the tree your blood. The world and tree are yourself now. The cycle of the death of innocence continues after you've killed yourself as a child, and you now only exist as an adult, and the world now only exists as you. Childhood dies, and the adult is born. Ending number 4 has you feeding the tree roots wine. The tree drinks the wine, and the world is one cooked in faith. The people of the world drink sacramental wine and prostrate while alive, and death consumes them once their life is over. Ending number 5 is a goofier ending, as after feeding the tree bone marrow, the people of the world turn into skeletons. No one has eyes for art, and no skins for touch, but hey, at least Halloween will be fun. Ending number 6 comes from when you use the plant growing formula on the tree's roots. The birch mutates and develops an appetite for human flesh. The birch tree is now the god of this world, and the people within it are its cultists, gathering sacrifices to keep the tree from being hungry. Ending number 7 sees you pour immortality into the ancient water. Now nobody dies, it's the death of death. All beauty can be explored forever. All secrets can be uncovered. Eventually there's nothing left of the world but the immortals. Every problem has been solved, but one: being alive. Ending number 8 comes about when you pour the tomato soup into the water. The people of Fatum Betula gain the same understanding as the man in the odd laboratory. The people understand that they're nothing but code and polygons, that the world they thought was real was actually on the other side of a computer screen. The final ending of Fatum Betula, ending number 9, comes when you share free will with the tree and the world. The inhabitants of Fatum Betula before thought they had free will, but only now is that true. Thanks to God and the efforts of the player, the falseness of life has retroactively been given validity. The past is history. God created the present, now it's up to the denizens to create the future. And that's the story surrounding Fatum Betula. Everything's laid out in this video the way I saw it, but maybe you think some literal things were figurative, or vice versa. And I think that's fine. That's the nature of a game like this, and it's a valid opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely keep an eye on Bryce. He's a wildly talented fella. Games he's made are linked in the description. I'll let Bryce play us out. Take it away, buddy.
Anyway, yeah, I hope you have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the game. If you didn't, that's alright. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So, bye.